Hi guys and welcome. Today I will go and explain you what does every single button in WordPress do, as well as give you some helpful tips and tricks along the way. You don't actually want to go and test those buttons on your actual website. The way better way is to go to websites like testwp.com, which will generate you without needing to sign up or create account, give them email or anything. New WordPress account completely for free for 2 days. You just need to come inside here, click on agree with terms and sign up. You also want to go and copy those informations and save them later on so you can log in back within those 2 days. And now if you click access now, you can see you have completely new WordPress website inside here. You may be confused now because your WordPress website has more or less buttons than this one. Why is it happening? Well, it's because of your web hosting provider, because some of them has already pre-existing deals with some plugins or another third-party companies to include their services in a left bar. But in this video, don't worry, we're gonna go and focus on the most vanilla WordPress buttons, which every single one of you gonna have as well. Those include dashboard, post, media, pages, comments, appearance, plugins, users, tools, and settings. All the others are here just because of the service we are using. So let's start with the first one, dashboard. This is like a control panel of your website. If you're having your website for multiple months or even years, this is somewhere where you will see on one place the performance of your website. You can even go and adjust it. You can go and hide the ones you are not currently using, or you can even drop your own boxes inside here to make it more customizable for your needs. You can also go inside here and see the subsection of updates. This is very important and you want to go and make sure that you are always up to date with the latest WordPress version. This will go and make sure that your site is way more secure, because if there is some security breach, it will usually get patched in next update. So you always want to go and keep up with the latest version. As you can see, based on the statistic, not keeping up with the latest version is one of the biggest security risks for your website. And if you have update available, it will look something like this with this red one circle in there. Then we have something very important. Post and pages. Many people make this mistake. I made a complete video about them, but let me explain it to you on this example. Here I'm on site disney.com, and let's see the example between pages and post. Pages are usually for static content of your website. Pages can be also found usually in header of your website, so everything you see inside here are pages, and also inside footer of your website. Pages usually don't need to be updated that frequently. Think about, for example, for contact us page, about us page, but also privacy policy page or even terms of use page. Those are pages that doesn't need to be updated very often. Page is everything you see inside here. When it comes to some of the most popular pages, you can also think about stuff like a home page. So everything you see on a home page is one big page. So this is, for example, homepage of disney.com. This page consists of multiple posts, and posts are content that are created more frequently and way more time sensitive. Usually, it is what your users want to interact, especially if you are running blogs. You can see it also includes some additional information. For example, the writer who wrote the content. You would not put it on, for example, your About Us page who built it, but you want to go and maybe share it on your blog post. It is also way more likely to be shared than your home page. And you can also go and include stuff like date inside here. And you can see that this is way more time sensitive. And even though it's already 2024, you can see this is, for example, old blog post. So it is post. And if we come into header to find this specific page, we can see that Disney is not updating it a lot. So this is also something that's going to show you that maybe this website isn't that well taken care of, because the last posts are nearly 1 year old. So I hope you understand the difference between pages and posts now. If you still have some doubts about it, you can definitely go and check this video where I explain it even more in depth. Then we have stuff like media. This acts basically like gallery on your phone. It stores not only your images, but also videos, maybe some audio files, even documents, in one single place. Here, what is very important, and not a lot of people are talking about it, is your naming convention. I would highly suggest you from day one, create some naming convention, have something in mind, even using something like category, including your blog post name, category, or even number, can improve the readability later on. It doesn't look like it if you have a small website, but if you have, for example, food blog with hundreds of blog posts and maybe hundreds or even thousands of media files, and you are searching for something very specific, it can be extremely time consuming if you don't have good naming convention in place. So definitely think about it when you are updating your files in here. You can also go and manage them in here, bulk edit them, or add some new stuff. Then we have comments. Obviously, this is where people will leave comments on your website and you can go and preview them inside here. Now, there's a lot of talk lately if it is actually necessary. I personally would suggest you that for 90 or 95% of website, I wouldn't even suggest to have comments. It sounds very good in theory, but in actual reality, if you are building a website, what you will come across is a lot of spam emails because there are a lot of bots and they will just spam your website with weird links and weird comments. And if you want to go and avoid it, you can just go and turn them on inside settings. I will show you how to do it later. If you still want to go and insist on having comments, you can view them inside here. You can also add them into spam. You can also visit your trash, so you can also delete some comments. And you can also make sure that every single comment you're going to receive needs to be approved by you in order to be shown on your website. Then we have appearances. This is like a design studio of your website, when you can go and change by one click all the fonts, colors, and design elements of your website. Now, don't forget, even if you are building a website, you are not tied into one single design. If you want to go and change it later on, you can do it inside here without worry. All of your content gonna stay the same, but you will just change the appearances inside here. You can also go and see some specific themes, and there are also marketplaces online where people go and try to sell you some specific themes. So for example, if you are running a hotel, you can go and get this theme that will make your life that much easier. Or even if you have some very specific business, let's say you are a dentist, you can go and buy, for example, a specific dentist theme that was created with all the necessities in mind for dentists. And then we have something very beautiful about WordPress, and those are your plugins. Also, you can go and think about them like apps on your phone. Whenever you get your basic phone, it doesn't have that many functionalities, but if you download multiple apps, it will extend the amount of functionalities your phone has. And this is very similar to WordPress. The basic WordPress doesn't have that many capabilities, but you can go and get specific plugins that will go and improve this, make it even broader. So let's look at this example. Let's say you are building a hotel website. By default, WordPress doesn't have built-in booking capabilities, but you simply can go to add new plugins and find some plugin that will go and extend functionality of basic WordPress in order for your visitors to be able to go and book their room directly in there. Now, one advice I see many people making mistake is judging which of the plugins are actually good and which are not. Many people will just go inside here and look at this overall number of reviews, which is a good indicator, but isn't everything. What you want to go and actually do is click on it and check 1-star reviews. Not only if they have them, but focus on the recency of those reviews. If you would go and see that few of the 1-star reviews are 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 days, 4 days old, it can go and tell you that this plugin is currently not working very well, and you will want to go and stay away from it. But for example, in here, we can see the latest 1-star review is over 1 year old. So this definitely indicates to us that people don't have that many problems with this specific plugin later, so we can feel confident to go and get it. There's also a big discussion of how many plugins you should have, how many is too much. And there's not definite number, okay? If you have 10 good working plugins that are actually optimized, it will not go and ruin your website. But if you have only one very bad plugin, it can completely break your website. So you definitely want to go and stay cautious, and sometimes less is more, and in plugin games, I think it is definitely worth it. Also, inside plugins, you want to go and make sure that you are updating your plugins to stay up to date, and you can even go inside here and enable auto edits or disable them if you want to do it manually. Because sometimes what's happening is with new update for plugin, it will sometimes crash the plugin overall, and until they fix it, there's some time period where it will not work. And if you want to go and stay away from those problems, you can go and update them also manually to make sure that everything works smoothly for you. And then another button is users. You by default are going to be admin of your WordPress website. You get to have capability to change everything inside here. So everything can be changed by you. But let's say you are running, for example, blog and you need some content. You don't want to go and give your login credentials to anyone, okay? This should be just for you. Keep it, don't share it with anyone, especially people you don't really know. You actually can come inside here and add new users, and you can go and create them specific capabilities inside here. So for example, they can be subscriber, contributor, author, editor, and administrator. And if you look at this example of this specific role, you can see they have very limited capabilities. So you don't need to worry about that some of your writers will go and completely break your website. They're going to start playing with your settings because they will not even have access to it. So this is definitely something you want to go and keep in mind. But if you are just getting started and you have no plan of having people working on your website or for you on your website, you don't need to worry about this. You can just keep yourself as admin. And once again, keep in mind, please do not share your login credentials with anybody. And then we have tools. This may seem important, but as complete beginner, I don't think you will use this as much. There are some helpful capabilities, like for example, you can go and export your website and import it to another website. So you can basically go and migrate your website by using these tools. But there's also, you can, for example, go and export your personal data, erase personal data, or even you can go and play around with your theme. So if you want to go and put something specific in there by code or extend some functionalities, you can also do it inside here. But once again, I think as a complete beginner, you will not really find this that useful as more experienced people. But it's good to keep in mind, and there are also a lot of plugins that will go and expand functionality of those abilities inside tools in here. And then last but definitely not least, we have settings, which on the other hand is extremely important. So let me actually go over it. Firstly, we're going to start with general settings. Here you get to go and change a lot of stuff. For example, we can go and change our site title and tagline. And if you're asking yourself, well, what is it? It's actually what is shown inside here. We can see here, we are on site of BBC. And when we hover over it, you can see BBC Home, which is site title. And then you have your tagline, breaking news, world news, US news, sports, business, and so on. And you can go and change it inside here. So if I change it to Luca knows, subscribe for more WordPress tutorials, and I will actually go and save those changes. And now when I visit my website, you can see when I hover over it, it is changed. This once again will go and help your website to add that little bit of professionality and make it way more appealing for your visitors. Especially if there are some of the people that have multiple tabs open at once, this is a very helpful navigation tool for your visitors to have. Then you can go and, for example, change your administration email. If you have membership on your website, you can go and allow it inside here. You can go and change stuff like site language, time zones, day formats, and time formats, or even whenever your week starts. But please don't forget to save your changes. This is something that I definitely forget a lot. I'll just change it inside here, forget to save the changes, and then I'm wondering why it's not working. You also want to go and make sure that you have this S included inside here. This is going to go and ensure that the connection has SSL certificate and is actually safe to communicate, especially for your visitors. A lot of web hosting companies will offer also domains with SSL certificate already included. And if you don't see it inside here, definitely contact your web hosting provider to make sure that you will be nicely and visible on every single Google or another search engine. Then you can go into writer settings. So for example, you get to go and set up some pre-existing stuff. So what are your default categories for posts? Then you can go and post formats, for example, and stuff like that. Once again, if you're a complete beginner, you don't need to worry about it. But what is very, very important for you, and it's kind of hidden inside WordPress, is this specific page. You want to go under settings, reading, and find something called search engine visibility. Now be careful. If this is actually checked like this, you are basically telling to Google, Yahoo, and every single search engine, do not even look at me. Don't include me in your search. So if this is checked on, you will never appear on Google. And some web hosting providers, I don't know why, but they are coming with this checked on. So if you have no traffic, nothing is working, definitely go inside settings, reading, and make sure that this is not clicked on. And then don't forget to go and save changes. This is a little hidden, but you definitely don't want to forget this one. Then you can go and manage discussions inside here. So for example, you can go and turn this off if you do not want to have any comments allowed whatsoever. And you can go and save changes, or you can even go and play around with, for example, number of days, level of desktop, and all the other stuff. I personally don't have a lot of experience with managing this specifically because I like to go and turn completely off my comments on my websites. Now we have media section inside here. This can be especially helpful if you have a lot of freelancers writing for you to go and pre-make some pre-existing requirements, because sometimes they will just drop huge files on you and you definitely don't want to have this. So you can go and set up maximum width, maximum size to make sure that everything is unanimized in one single way. Then also, very important, permalinks. Usually it comes with custom structure, which is not the best. This basically means how your URL of your website is gonna be shown. So if I go, for example, to BBC Sports, I do not see some weird numbers, symbols, letters in here. I just see bbc.com/sports. And the best way how to do it is by simply going for post name. And don't forget to go and click changes once again. And then last but not least, there is privacy, where you get to go and automatically generate privacy policy page, okay? Because this is going to be your static page. So you want to go and create static page inside here. And you can go and use, for example, privacy policy page, use this page, and it will automatically go and generate you page completely for free with some basic information they are gathering from your website in here. So if I go back to pages, you can see that we have our privacy policy page automatically generated, which already include a lot of cool stuff. It's already relatively nicely formatted, and you don't need to worry about it at all. I hope this explained at least something about WordPress. If you want to go and see some full tutorial, I have also full tutorials how to build WordPress website. Hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe if you want to see more WordPress tutorials. This is everything from me. Have a nice day and goodbye.